welcome to Thursday night reading sprints, Thursday day reading sprints for two of our guests tonight, just to confuse me. I'm easily confused as it is. You will see some familiar faces on screen. Kendare, I think, is this your first live reading sprint, writing sprint?
Yeah, I've seen that you guys do them, but yeah, thanks for letting me join in.
Oh, thank you for joining us. It's really interesting because I find I'm mildly productive all week, and then tonight I'm super productive because people are watching me, so I feel like I need to perform. Like, don't scroll TikTok, look like you're writing, and you actually do write. So hopefully the magic will work for everybody. Let's go around the group, and I'll briefly introduce everybody, although I'm sure that most people will know who all of you are. We've got Katrina Brown, who is a fantastic booktuber, HorrorTuber, just general spooky person, in case the bats in the background don't give you a little clue. I'm sad that I can't see any terrifying dolls tonight, but I'm sure they're around. The spooky dolls around somewhere.
Yeah, they're on my bookshelf right now, so they're hanging out over there.
Katrina has the most excellent collection of terrifying little dolls. I'm quite jealous. And then Kasha is a booktuber and horrortuber as well, from Kasha's Book Cemetery. And then Kendare Blake probably doesn't need to introduce. I'm going to introduce her anyway. She wrote some of my favourite books ever, like Anna Dressed in Blood and the Buffy in Every Generation and One Girl in All the World series. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So I think there's lots of people in the comments tonight. We'll go around to the group of us on the screen and find out what we're working on, and then we'll jump to the comments and see who's here and what they are doing. So how about you, Katrina? Are you planning to read tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to start A Black and Endless Sky by Matthew Lyons. This was my pick for my friend's book club, the Pyramid Book Club with Lexi and Michelle and Monica. And I actually have sprints right after these sprints over there for reading this. And it has to be done by Sunday, so no pressure. I just haven't started it.
Is that a horror? It looks spooky.
Yes, it's supposed to be cosmic.
Oh, I don't think I've ever read any cosmic horror.
Yeah, I think it's going to be trippy, so I'm excited.
Excellent. I should warn you, Kendare, it will be really dangerous for your bank account tonight, because every book people say, they're like, I want to read that. So I always come away from these with a list a mile long and like a basket full of books. So that's the first one to add. How about you, Kasha? What are you planning to read tonight?
So I have two books that I want to start. The first one, I think it's the one for your YA book club. Yeah. So is Last One to Die.
I have it too.
Yes, because I just love The Midnight Man so much, and I need to catch up with the other ones. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to read. And the other one is a release from last year. It's adult horror, and I love the cover. It's called The Doctor's Demons by Maria Abrams. This one. And it is about a child psychiatrist that is used to deal with hard cases until she gets a little girl that is possessed by a demon. And things get complicated. So yeah, I'm just hoping this is some really cool, like, kind of exorcism demon story. They don't come often, and when they do, sometimes are too cliche. So I am hoping that this one is going to be a good one, because The Exorcist is one of my favorite classics. So we'll see. It's hard to top, but I'm looking for that next one after The Exorcist. So
have you read? I feel like we've talked about this before. My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Yeah, I like it. I think Grady Hendrix is a weird mix for me. Like, I enjoy his writing style, but I never love it. Like, I appreciate him a lot, and I enjoy his stories, but I'm afraid I don't absolutely adore him as much as other people do. But I did enjoy the book.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, I like The Doctor's Demons. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. You like that one?
Yeah.
Will I be able to cope with it, Katrina? Is it too much about, like, children being in peril, or I can't cope with that?
I mean, that does happen. It takes on like an evil child thing, though, which is cool.
Evil children isn't as bad as like kidnapped children. I think I can cope with demonic, but like give me a child that's like been taken away from its mummy. I'm like, no. That cemetery gone. Can't read it ever again. Ruined for me forever. Especially because the little boy looks like mine at the beginning of the original film. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough story.
Okay, so Kendare, are you planning to write today?
Yes, I am rapidly approaching my deadline for Buffy 3. My revision deadline, actually tomorrow, and I'm going to miss it. But, maybe this will get me closer.
I think this is a common theme. Like literally all the authors I've spoken to recently have gone, yeah, you know that deadline that was last month, I'm still working on it. And luckily my editor said, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to edit your book until August instead of June. And I was like, oh, that's such a shame. And I went, thank God, because I've not finished writing it yet. Phew. So I've had that rare like publishing reprieve that doesn't happen very often. So what did I do but decide I'm going to edit another book at the same time as Mina, because that's what sensible people do, right? So,
right, yeah, the minute you have any kind of like extra time, instead of slowing down, we just like double down, which is, I don't know what's wrong with us.
I remember when I interviewed you about the Buffy books, like wasn't it Buffy 1 where you were just like, I'm going to have the first break in years, and then they go, can you write a Buffy book? And you're like, oh, there goes the break then. Like,
yeah, and then they said, how about you write 3? I'm like, ah, frick. Now it's over. Now I'm super behind. Like, I'm not only going to miss this deadline, but I'm also going to miss my next deadline. I'm just like planning deadlines in advance to miss at this point.
I think you're under such demand though. Like, you've got different publishers, and I'm sure that they don't talk to each other. I mean, like, they can't like correlate everything, can they? So you end up
No, not at all. And I've been lucky so far, but like this last deadline, I did have 2 things hit at the same time, and that, like, I had a slim chance of making this Buffy deadline before my other, like, my line edits came back from somewhere else. I'm like, well, it's over now, so that's nice.
It's like I had this conversation with somebody recently, and they were like, "It's a nice problem to have, but we can still complain about it anyway, right?"
Like, yeah.
So yeah, so the horror anthology that I curated, I've just done like my second to last edits on that. I think I'm going to have the final read through, but that came when I was just meant to be really hard at work on Mina 3, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to spend a week reading this anthology instead. So it was a great thing to do. It was really fun to see what all the authors had done and like the edits they've made and stuff. But yeah, it didn't help with sticking to my Mina 3 deadlines. That's what I'm working on tonight. I keep saying I'm getting towards the ending, and next time I'll be writing the climax, and I'm still not writing the climactic scenes. I'm still building up to it, and it's 70,000 words long, and it's not nearly finished yet. So I'm a little bit worried about the page count. How did you do with the Buffy books?
How long have the other Minas been?
So 73,000, 93,000. So does that mean that this one can be?
Yeah.
Like,
113,000. That's fine. You just go up by 20, and then we'll just keep on.
I'll tell you, my publisher, that Kendare gave me permission because that's how trilogies work, and you've done it before me, so I figure. Did the Buffy books, did they get longer, or are they similar length?
No, that's like the weird thing about my books is they tend to stay the same length. 3 Dark Crowns, my first in my 4-book fantasy series, is slightly shorter, and then they all expand to about 95,000. 95, 95, 95. Sometimes you get to that like final fantasy book and it's, this thick. But no, that doesn't really happen. And now with this final Buffy book, well, it's going to be about 95, just like the others.
I need to learn that skill. Maybe it'll come eventually, but I just, because I don't plan, I do plan roughly, but I tend to pants a lot of it. I think things like the plot just carries me away with it, and I just see where it goes, and I'm like, oh, I know I've got like so many scenes left to write, and I'm thinking how many words it'll be, and it's a lot of words. So
yeah, the endings always feel so close, and then you're like, yeah, like you said, like, yeah, I'm gonna get to the final scenes like 2 days. It's gonna be so exciting, and then there's just like so much more that you actually need to lay out, like the foundation. It takes so much longer than you think.
Yeah, and I think I do the thing as well where I think a scene is going to take me like a night to write, and then I realise that there's stuff around a scene, like there's getting somewhere and getting away from there, and then those things take me the whole night and I don't even get to the scene. So yeah, commiserating. And I think, I don't know, like reading is the same thing. Like I don't know whether you two do the thing that I do, where I know that I can read about 6 to 8 books a month, so I set myself 13 on my TBR. Like I don't know why we do this to ourselves. Like any kind of deadline is just like, it's just a vague guideline, isn't it? How about you, Katrina? Do you ever stick to what you say you're going to read?
No, especially with my like TBR game and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I never get to those books. I feel so bad, but it will happen one day.
Yeah, how about you, Kasha? Do you stick to plans, or do you kind of? I feel like I know what the answer is going to be, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to say.
Yeah, well, I try to stick to my TBR. I'm a Virgo. I like to plan. I like to know what's coming. I've been working all my life on being more spontaneous because I'm too strict with plans and organization, and I need to have everything under control. That's my problem. I need control over things. So I feel like if I have a set TBR, I know I can grab from there. But sometimes I will add occasionally maybe a new book that I forgot that I had pre-ordered or that I'm really excited about, and I'll just add it in. But I do like to have a plan.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Like, I can't quite often get sent books that I didn't realize I was going to be sent. It's like, oh yeah, I'll blurb that, or oh yeah, I really want to read that, and then a publisher sends me, and I'm like, oh, the 10 books I've already said I'll read this month, and these 3 have just arrived. Like, oh, and they're more of a priority. So yeah, it all goes horribly long. I'm always impressed though, Cash, that you do like, I watch your TBR videos and your effort videos. I'm like, oh, she actually, like, she did it.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if I don't set a TBR, I feel like I don't have a goal, and then I might read less, or I might not think, oh, I need to read this quicker so I can get to this other one that I have. You know, then I think I will be too chill maybe, and I will not get things done.
Yeah.
So I think for me, for my personality, you know, everybody works differently. Everybody's brains work differently. But I feel like if I see a TBR physical and I know I have to read all of that, it motivates me to keep going instead of not having anything and being like, oh, I'll just grab a book, you know, whenever. This is not going to work with me.
I wish it worked for me. I've got this beautiful shelf set up now that is my TBR shelf, and I still don't read them, so no excuses. I don't know about you, but Kendare, do you read a little less when you're writing a lot and on a deadline? Because I feel like my reading has just slipped way down while I'm, the more stressed I am about Mina 3, like the less books I read, I think.
Oh, yo, my reading is terrible. I'm a very slow reader too. So if I get 2 books a month, I'm happy. And that's pretty much always. And then, like you said, I get, you get the blurb requests and they sound so cool. And you're like, yeah, I want to try to read that. Yeah, I want to try to read that. And you keep their deadlines in your mind, because reading for blurbs is reading with a deadline too. And then, like, I just got my mail delivery person just dropped off like 3, and I'm like, I don't remember asking for them. But I mean, I did. I asked for them, and they're all awesome. But now I have to, like, really, really hurry, because I think they all have deadlines. And sometimes when I said yes to them, I was like, oh, June, that's like forever away. Don't worry about it. You can totally read all these. Except that I requested 6 of them.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. The guilt, like when it's somebody else's book and you want to do a good job and like read it properly and kind of, you know, you can't half-ass it. You've got to like really know what you're going to say to blurb it, and then
yeah. Well, yeah, and I tend to savor things. So like I'll read like just a few chapters at each setting at first until you get to about the halfway point, and then you're like, well, I have to know what happens now, and then you just read the rest in one go. But yeah, so that doesn't help me either.
Oh yeah, look. I didn't even notice there was a cat there. It just materialized then, like against the black.
So cute. I have a black cat named Beans. He doesn't. He's not too cuddly though. Every once in a while he'll pop up here, but most of the time he's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, I have 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you all friendly, Kasha, or are some more friendly than others?
Yeah, we only have one that she hates everybody and everything, and the other 3 are nice. Especially I have 2 black boys. They are the nicest ones. Always want to sleep with you. Always want to be with you. The girls are more particular.
My mother-in-law has got this beautiful cat that I don't know what breed it is, but it looks kind of Persian to me, really long and fluffy, massive paws. It's huge and beautiful and does not like people touching it at all. And my toddler's like main goal is to give this cat a cuddle. And it's like, you're never going to catch it. He just runs around the house and he's so lovely with animals, like really gentle. But this cat just thwarts him every time. Whereas my sister-in-law's cat is the opposite, like will let you kind of pick up and hold it like a doll and stuff. I think cats like people, aren't they? They have I'm guessing dogs are too. I haven't had as many dogs, but yeah, they're very strong personalities. Let's see what people in the comments are saying, and then maybe we can go to a sprint fairly soon. Hi, if we talk about the MCM one that I did on Saturday, it was really fun, although it's the only talk where I've ever had proper stage lights on me and I could not see the audience at all. So luckily we got to see the people that were sitting there, and then as we walked up on the stage, they kind of disappeared and we just got these really bright lights on us. So I felt like I was on a stage acting or something. It was weird. But apart from that, yeah, it was really good. Thank you. Hi, thank you for joining us. Hello. Oh, Regina's here. I haven't seen you for a while, Regina. Hope you're good. Hi, Sharon. Hello. Hi. This is where everybody starts chatting to each other. Everybody's very friendly here. Ooh, I don't know what Monstrilio is. That sounds interesting.
It's a new release. I think it's a new release, yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I have this on my TBR this month. Patricia Wants to Cuddle. I don't know whether you three, is this on your radar? It
I
sounds
remember
like
somebody was reading it in a past reading sprints.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, it's like a Bachelor in Paradise kind of Love Island situation of these couples or like I think three girls are like they've got to the finals and there's this boy that one of them will get to date him at the end. Except there's a Yeti on the island who I'm assuming may be the Patricia of the title. And the cover is just this like bloody brown fur. It looks genius. Like I've never read a book blurb and gone, that sounds like nothing else. I need to have it. Quite like that one. So yeah, we'll be interested, Sharon, what that is like. Hi. Oh, Team Australia. I still can't say it. Australia. Let us know how that is, everyone, in the next sprint. Hi. I know. I mean, it's not just us, Kendare, right? Everybody's doing it. It's just like we're part of the team. We'd be letting the side down if we were working perfectly to our deadlines. Hi, Reka. It was really fun. It was very busy and the food queues were massive. So I ate strawberries and marshmallows dipped in chocolate for my dinner, which was a wise choice. I looked at all the sensible food places, massive queues, the kind of junk food one, and went for that. Yeah, good, very busy. And I'll see it through different eyes having a 3-year-old there. I just kind of have to think about how I'm going to get him through it in one piece. Thank you. I'm going to remember all of this to tell my publisher when I hand this great epic. Thank you, everyone. Gonna screenshot all of this. Yeah, that's what I've started doing, Hannah. I feel like sorry. I do tend to set too many and then I can just pick which ones I like the look of. Yeah, you do amazing though, Sharon. You are so like dedicated and focused with reading. I was impressed when I see Sharon like every couple of days seems to be turning out a new book. Yes. Let's all keep mood reading. We'll keep mood writing Kendare too and just all go with the flow. Yeah, some organized people in the mix. Oh, I mean, reading a spicy book alongside your textbook sounds like a good idea to me. Excellent. I mean, that sounds like fairly familiar in sprints quite often. That's the first thing I do. Whatever books people have mentioned, I go on and order them instead of actually writing. Okay, so for anybody who's not joined us, because we've got a few new faces tonight and Kendara's not done this before, we do a 40-minute sprint, a little bit of chat in between, then we do another 40 minutes, and then usually I'm incoherent because it's 10 p.m. here by then, so I do 30 minutes for last one. Otherwise, the secret starts spilling out and I'd start talking in incomplete sentences, and anybody who wants to get anything out of me at that point would be like, so tell me about what you're working on. You're not allowed. I'm like, I'm going now. Slither away. So yeah, so the last one has to be 30 minutes just because nobody needs to see the mess I am by 10 p.m. So let's do the 40-minute sprint. I will mute everybody and then we will catch up on the site. Sorry about the cat meow. I feel like I should have warned everyone and I didn't, but I feel like I'm on screen with 3 people who have cats, and maybe it didn't make you jump as much as it could have done. So let's see how it went for everybody. How about you, Kasha? How did you go on in the sprint?
So I read 66 pages of Last One to
Nice.
Die.
Yay!
Yeah. So I think that for some reason, when I read a book by Cynthia Murphy, I read it really quickly. It also happened with The Midnight Man. It might be something to do with her writing style or something, but I can read it quicker than other books for some reason. So it's this young girl that has been admitted to like a drama school in London, and she's really excited about it to move there and start, the classes and stuff. But girls start to get murdered around her. And they all fit the same pattern. They're all similar type of girl, all attending drama school. So of course her parents are worried, and there's comparisons to Jack the Ripper, going back to the history of England and stuff. And there's a reference to Scream, which I think that she does in all her books. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So good.
Good. Yeah, I was just looking at it because when we do the book club, I split it into 4 so that we can kind of, if people want to, they can read it over the month. And there's something about the font of her books, and I think the size of the text and everything. It's like it's the writing itself, but it's just how Scholastic designs it. It's really clever. They're really Moorish. They're thrillers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I read it. I don't remember exactly when this one came out. I think it was the same year as the first Mina book, so 2021. But I think I read it like halfway through the previous year because I read an early version to blurb. So it's been years since I've read it, and I'm excited because when you can remember a little bit about it, but not enough. I don't.
Do you remember the twist or the killer, or at least you remember?
Yeah, I think I do remember that, but I can't really remember the why of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, and it'll be interesting to chat about this one. I think the ending. People are going to have opinions as they often do about twists, so that'll be good. So it's like Cynthia, that there's going to be a twist in this book.
Yeah.
How about you, Katrina? How was the sprint for you?
Good. I ended up reading, I think, 37 pages. I'm doing the audio too, with it on Scribd, and I like it. The beginning was very cosmic-y, and then it cut to like a brother and sister going on like a road trip after his divorce, and the sister is kind of annoying. She's like, dude, you're not like how you used to be. Why aren't you like how you used to? He's like, I just got divorced. Like, we're older now. We're in our mid-30s. Like, why would I be like how I used to be? So, yeah, they're on a road trip to Albuquerque, I think, or they're going from Albuquerque through the desert somewhere. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Cool. You said annoying sister on a road trip. I instantly thought of Jeepers Creepers. I don't know why, because they're not. They're like quite young adults, but
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
I watched it quite recently just because it's one of those horror films where, in my opinion, I think it's okay, but I think the ending is absolutely genius.
Yes, I was going to say it's one of my favorite horror endings ever.
Yeah.
Like, I love the ending of that movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The last second of it, I could remember very little about watching it the first time around, apart from that. Yeah, it's brilliant. How about you, Kendare? Did you have a good writing session?
Yeah. I just have a quick... Katrina, what is the cosmic element? Like, do you know yet, or is it kind of creeping up on you?
Well, they explained there was like people in suits that were going into this hole, and they see something, and it's like psychically connecting to them. Ooh. And like making them imagine stuff, and then right at the beginning in the Murmurs chapter. So that gave me mega cosmic vibes. And then I guess they end up stumbling upon the hole, and they find a bunch of dead bodies is what's in the description or the synopsis. And then they realize, there's like older and older bodies like at the top too, like it's like coming up or something. So
yeah, I feel like this is going to ruin my TBR because I really want to buy that book. That's a good question, Kendare. I should have asked that.
Oh, no, I think I can't remember, I was reading something, but they were talking about like what defines a cosmic horror, and like, oh, hey, she's reading a cosmic horror. I wonder which, cosmic thing is there. Or maybe it's because the most recent, I think the most recent edition of Weird Tales magazine is like their special cosmic horror issue. So I was just thinking about cosmic horror.
I don't get that. That sounds good, whatever that is.
Yeah, Weird Tales magazine. It's like one of the big famous horror sci-fi mags from like the past century, and back when like magazines were a big thing and a big like way to get your stuff published when you were first starting out too. And then it went away for a while, and I think Jonathan Mayberry and a couple of other like horror aficionados like revived it, and now it's like going strong again in print, and I think also online maybe, I don't know. But I think they just passed like their milestone 300th issue or something. They just passed a big anniversary, so it's cool. It's cool to see it still going.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So, how did the writing go in that bit, or editing you're doing, aren't you?
Hot damn, that 40 minutes went by really fast.
Yeah, it does.
I kept like sneaking peeks at that little cat, and I'm like, you're going too fast, cat. So, I mean, it went okay. It went okay. I didn't make it through an entire section, which is what I was hoping for.
Well, we'll stop talking soon and then you can get back to it. I always think the first one takes me a little time to get into. The second one, I hit my stride, and then like the third one is kind of my tidying up and just finishing it off bit. So hopefully you can get some magic in the next one. I edited a bit, wrote a bit, edited a bit, and then wrote a bit. And I was writing a really sexy scene towards the end, and I was like, oh, I don't know what faces I'm pulling right now, but like, I don't know how you feel. Like, are there any scenes you feel, I don't know, like kissing scenes? I always feel a bit like thinking about the people reading them, like my dad's going to read this scene. Oh, I don't know. Like, are there any scenes where you're going to write one and you're a bit like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this, but you're kind of thinking about the reading experience as well? Like, it kind of takes you out of your own head a little bit.
I think I might have like censored myself, because my fantasy that I'm writing right now could be fairly spicy if I wanted it to be, but I read all my books out loud to my husband.
Oh,
so, like that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, I don't wanna. This is weird. this is like cootie city.
Cooties.
I mean, YA is tricky, isn't it, for that? Because like teenagers are doing just about everything, I imagine. But there's this thing about YA, like you could have somebody's like head chopped off on scene, but like don't have them kiss too passionately. So yeah,
don't like explain too much stuff.
Yeah,
you probably just like stay away from that. But I can explain all the entrails I want, like lovingly in loving detail, and it doesn't matter. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. I was talking to somebody about that recently. Like, it does seem a little bit skewed. I don't know. I've heard that the US seems to be a little bit more in that direction as well. I don't know whether because you've been kind of published by both. Do you find that US publishers ever like less on the kissing and stuff like that?
I don't tend to write very kissy books anyway.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I've never had anything like that challenged. The only time I did have somebody ask to take something out was from my UK publisher for Anti-Goddess. I had the F word on the first page, and they're like, could you move it to the second page? I was like, okay, fine. But that was it.
Yeah, it's funny. We had that conversation about the anthology, and my UK publisher that seemed to sit was that like if it seemed really integral to the story and like the way the characters spoke and everything, and it seemed really natural, then they wanted to keep it. But some of the time they were like, all right, if it seems like it's not absolutely necessary, they were happier to kind of take it out, or like you said, move it so it didn't appear in quite as shocking a place. I got one of my mild swears toned down slightly. The only thing I've had to really take out there was a violent thing I described. Ed Gein, the serial killer who like skinned people and made stuff out of the skin. My agent said you're going to need to take some of that out because that's just no publisher's going to print that. I was like, okay. So
but that's a classic. He's been the inspiration for so many things.
Yeah.
Chainsaw, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, what did he even make out of his mom anyway? Like a lamp? Like, big deal.
A belt.
A belt? Was it a belt?
Yeah,
it's like a nipple belt or something. Yeah. But I think that was from the grave.
Yeah, he was like a grave robber too. So it wasn't even, he's just like a harvester. It's fine.
Yeah, she let me keep a little bit of it, but I think I maybe got a bit too carried away. Like you do, you're like, I've researched this. I really want to include every little gruesome bit. I think I edited myself as well. I mentioned the Donner Party and like them eating people and stuff. And I was like, I did tone myself down on that one. I was like, probably teenagers don't need to think too much about what I've just written. About the things you need to do to survive in the wilderness. So if you see me looking a bit uncomfortable, it's because I'm carrying on writing the sexy scene in the next book. So I'm sorry everyone for the embarrassed sexy faces that I'm pulling. Like, okay, let's see what the people in the comments are doing. Hopefully less embarrassing writing than what I've been doing. Oh my goodness, lots of people talking. Totally lost where I am. I didn't mark my comments, that's so bad. So let me see. Hi, Ellie. Oh, A Clash of Kings. This is so bad where I can't remember. Like, that's a George R. R. Martin.
Yes.
What? Yes. I have to admit, I haven't read the books. I tried reading the first one and went, oh, it's really long. And, like when there's a perspective shift and it's like 200 pages, I'm like, YA books are often 200 pages. So this is just not, I couldn't do it. I know it's probably really good, but I just couldn't do it.
It's good. I mean, some books dragged a bit for me. I feel it's like because he split, I don't know if it was book 3 and 4. I mean, he split something and he just basically introduced a bunch of new characters in a book, and he did not mention any of the other old characters that you were already rooting for. So it was kind of like a disconnect somewhere in the middle. But I did binge it. It's one of my favorite like adult fantasies. Probably I will die before he finishes it, but
no, I really hope not, for the benefit of everybody and himself.
Yeah.
It does seem a little bit like he'd rather write like a 2,000-page Targaryen monolith than finish this series. Have you two both read it, Katrina and Kendare? Have you read them all?
Yes. Yeah, I really liked it too. I recommended it last night on Sprints for dragons. It's like a book with dragons.
Am I going to have to read these books now? You've just like all overruled me that I feel like I'm going to have to dedicate like 10 years of my life to catching up with this. Maybe I can catch up by the time you write his last book. Possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, they're bingeable. They look very thick, but you're so engaged with the characters and there's always something going on, in different parts of the world. And I did find it like that I wanted to keep reading even though they're quite chunky. So yeah.
Okay.
Did you watch the show, Amy?
I tried myself, but
yeah, I really liked the TV show, that I have to admit I gave up. Then somebody told me Jason Momoa's in it and I went, oh, I'm going to watch a bit more.
Oh, you gave up before Jason Momoa showed up?
I did.
That's harsh.
I mean, because I really struggle with fantasy names. As soon as they start saying place names and character names, I don't know, in like certain ones like Laini Taylor I can cope with. I can cope with yours, Kendare, because like you said, they're grounded as much in like blood and battle and stuff like that. Like that's fine. But as soon as they're saying a name that sounds like blah 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 blah, and they come from this place that I can't also pronounce, and all the families, and like I couldn't tell who was related because they were all sleeping with each other. And I was like, that doesn't seem to stop them. So yeah, so I did stop. Then Jason Momoa. So I have Jason to thank for getting me to watch all of it because I did really like it. But I will watch anything that he's in. I've been to see many. I watched a cannibal film because he was in it.
Oh, that was amazing. It's on Netflix. It's called The Bad Batch.
Yeah, I surprisingly did quite enjoy it. But like, I saw the blurb and was like, cannibals? Oh, Jason Momoa. Okay, fine. I'll watch it. Let's see who else is here. Hello, 11:22. Is that the Stephen King one?
Yeah.
Again, this is so bad. I've watched the TV show. I haven't read the book. I'm really showing myself up tonight. Hi, Charlie. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Kay. Oh, it keeps coming up as being a Stephen King book that I need to read. Oh, what book? What book? Okay, cool. Sad kind of scares me. Satchel, is that the book or is that a reference to the book? I feel like Sharon and Charlie are having an in-joke here that I'm lost. Oh, this one comes up a lot on Sprints. Have any of you read that? I think it's a YA fantasy, maybe?
No.
Okay, oh good, not just me for once. I thought I was going to be left out again. Everybody saying hi. An epilogue that makes you squee. This sounds intriguing. Yeah, it might have been you, Charlie, that said that I need to read it. Oh, I need to read one of Cameron Rubique's books. They're meant to be really good. Yeah, I mean, I say this all the time, Regina. Sometimes I have a really bad reading month and I'm like, I swear it isn't the books I picked up that month. It's me. I'm the problem. Excellent. The Butcher's Table. Ooh, I love an anthology. That sounds interesting. Cosmic horror with a folk twist now. We're getting into like a whole extra type of horror there. I did an interview with a few HorrorTubers and like they really showed me up in the knowledge of horror subgenres. I was like, Slashers. In fact, you were on it, Kasha. Like when you were all talking about like the different subgenres of horror, I was just like, I'm in awe. I thought that
There's
horror
a lot.
yeah, I just know horror as a blanket term. Like I really don't know any theory when it comes to possibly the Weird Tales. Was it Weird Tales? Did you say, Kendare, that magazine?
I actually don't know if Paul Tremblay.
It really sounds like something.
But it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Oh, cosmic folk horror. I'm going to remember all of these. Ooh, The Rim of Morning. That sounds interesting. Yeah, that's my worry. That I could read like 3 or 4 way books for that number of pages, so I just don't know. Oh, Kill River.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, Kev was just telling me about. I was trying to remember which Cameron Rebeek book I've got. Yeah, Kill River. I was getting confused because there's a book called Kill Creek. I don't know whether I'm sure you might have read that. I love books about writers. Book, yeah, somebody's sending me a copy of that, hopefully, the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which sounds very cozy and awesome. Hi. Ooh, if you want any help, tell us what you're reading and we will try and help you. Yes, it's so good. I was very lucky. I read an early copy of it and then went, oh no, but that means I've got to wait even longer for book 3.
Yeah, like at the moment that I got delivered the second book, I read it and then I realized I had to wait for a long time. I'm like, no, what did I do?
Yeah. Absolutely no pressure, Kendare. You know you're already feeling slightly pressured about this third book. We're just all
no pressure.
Well, they're already like Disney's way ahead of me. I saw like the cover is out. I had no idea, and like it's already like up for pre-order places, and they have like the description. Like, I'm not done writing it. How do you know?
Well, if you change it now, like you could you just go completely rogue, and then they're like, you know that blurb that we've like printed on all these books?
No.
Yeah, I could. That is true. I still have it in my power. Like I have not turned it over to my editor yet. So
that's cool. Oh, that must feel like good power. That's the Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, thank you. Please, everybody save me from horror. Like, I think there's lots of people in here who I trust. Like, if they say I can't cope, I'm just gonna.
It's just children your limit, or
yeah, that's definitely and grief. I'm not great with like long treatises on grief. Just pull me into them. I think I soak up the emotions of books, and if they're too sad, I get really sad.
Oh, yeah, that happens right at the beginning of Monstrelio, the death of a child.
No.
So, yeah. Right at the beginning. Right at the beginning.
I'm glad you told me, Katrina, because that just, See, Motherhood, Pirates and Joy, that, yes. Yes. That one, I think, in fact, I think I got a copy of that too. I need to read it. Han, thank you. I didn't want to say Han's going to send me it. Thank you. I've already told you how bad I'm doing with reading, so there really is no rush. I loved that. It's so fun. It's if anybody wants to read like a royal kind of gossip girl, a girl who's always known that she's kind of a member of the royal family. Her father is the king in this alternate like reality, but she gets pulled into their world of like intrigue and secrets and murder. It's really, really good. And it also, if you like that, The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean is a similar kind of royal thriller drama. Okay, so we've recommended lots of books, we've chatted, let's do some reading and writing. So is everybody continuing what they started in the last one?
Yes. I think I'm going to start the other one. I'm going to start this one, see how it starts. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let's do another 40 minutes and then we will see you on the other side. Somebody, I think it was Kay, was asking for book rights. Let us know if you haven't decided what you want to read, and maybe somebody will jump in the comments to help you, or we can discuss afterwards. So we will see you all in 40 minutes. Hello, everyone. Try to talk quietly so I don't make anyone jump. Okay, so how did we all do in the sprint? How about you, Kendare? Did you have a good sprint? Oh, I think he's still muted.
Yeah. Sorry. My naked cat son woke up in the middle of it.
Oh, look!
He was like I have to write around him. My screen is like right over here. And he's yeah. So he's
Does he offer to help with writing? My toddler started saying, "Can I write with you, Mummy?" I'm like, "That's super helpful."
Yeah, he
Does he
definitely
like
does.
walk on your keyboard and stuff? So apart from the helpful assistant, how did the writing go?
It was better. Like I made it a few more sections. We're getting really close to the end now, and I usually write my endings. They stick a little bit better with the revisions on all of these Buffy books. It seems like my editor always comes back and says, "Yeah, I love the ending. You brought everything together really well and like nailed all the emotional beats." And the first half, let's do that over. So I'm getting towards the end now, and there's a lot of stuff is like, okay, good, I can keep this. I don't actually have to do very much to this because I've already, well, I say the first half because I'm like tooting my own horn, but really it's like, let's rewrite the first 3/4.
I feel like though the ending, like especially with a trilogy, like you're wrapping up not just a book but a whole sequence. Like if you've kind of nailed that end part, that's really good because that's what I'm a bit worried about right now. Like, can I actually give a satisfying conclusion for this whole like world? But you've seemed to have thought that.
Yeah, you're finishing a trilogy too. At like we're at the same stage. We're at the same stage.
You're a little
and
bit
the
ahead
same
of me.
stage
You're
in our
like,
book.
I think yours is probably a bit more polished. Mine still has bits that say, write this scene that doesn't exist yet, or I don't know whether you write notes for yourself. I write things like, this is not very good, fix later, and then just carry on going. So I
have friends who do that. I am unable to do that. I just sit there and stare at it for hours until I figure out what needs to go there.
I used to do that, and somewhere along the way, my friend Mia writes these beautiful, polished, amazing, like, well, children's and adults books, but particularly adult ones. And she just writes bullet pointed sections. Like if she doesn't know what she's doing, she writes bullet points of what she thinks will happen and then carries on. And I was like, wow, that's actually an option. So I tried that and that didn't work for me. But writing a kind of not very good scene where I'm like cringing as I'm writing it because there's no description, it's just dialogue, like that I seem to be able to do. But yeah, the inner editor is all the time saying, this is bad, this is bad. But yeah, I just have to push that away because my deadline's so tight now. I've got no room for kind of staring at it for 2 days. Yeah. So hopefully, so do you think maybe the sprint thing might be a good thing for you to kind of take forward, or just a little bit of things?
So. Yeah, I mean, at least it's like focused time, and it's nice to actually to be able to look at the timer and go like, oh, I've made that much progress in that much, and now I have this much time left. I have to move. So yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes I could work a whole day and kind of, like you said, question myself and second guess, or I could just do a sprint in the evening and get the same amount of work done. So yeah, it works for me. How about for the readers? Does it work for reading? Katrina, how about you? Did you have a good session?
I only read 10 pages. Alex came home and I was just talking to him.
Oh, I mean, life. I also, I don't know whether you noticed, I disappeared. I had a little boy wake up in the middle of my writing stint. So yeah, I get that. Life gets in the way. Was it a good 10 pages? That's the question.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It's moving along, I guess.
What page are you up to now?
47. So
is this one, at this point, it sounds intriguing. Like, would you recommend this one on the basis of what you've read so far?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Interesting. Okay. You have to update us after the last sprint, see if you get any like further along in your decision making. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because some books, like I'm reading a really good book called Murder on a School Night. I have to show the spine because the tagline thing is on the front. And I just read the first few lines of this and went, this is going to be an amazing book. Like, it's so fun. It's a murder mystery, but it's like a kind of, like those cringy teenage books where you're like, oh man, that is exactly how it was to be a teenager. like I want to cry for these characters. It's that, but it's also, and like the first person is killed by being choked on a menstrual cup. So that's nice. And the next one has a sanitary pole stuck across his eyes. So we're really going there with this. It's like, it's kind of cringy and funny, and yeah, and within like a page I was like, yes, I know exactly what I'm getting. But it's interesting, isn't it, how sometimes you read 50 pages and you're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How long
Wait,
is the book?
Sorry, wait, that's so rude. Like, she chokes on her own menstrual cup?
Well, I think it might be because her dad, without spoiling too much, the dad of somebody like runs a company that sells them. So I'm hoping it's not a used one. I didn't go there in my mind, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like, that's pretty extreme.
It's very,
That's like
very
harsh. That's like betrayal. Betrayal of the menstrual cup.
I know, and it's like it's the same publisher as Good Girls Guide to Murder, and I feel like that was very like groundbreaking and new in its style. And like, this kind of feels similar, that it's really like pushing boundaries and making me think, because it's like even the terminology just used. Then I'm like, oh, is that the terminology in the book? Because she talks about like the terms used for those things. Like, are they actually representative of the people who use them? And I've probably choose the wrong ones. Yeah, so I am learning. I'm getting there. Sorry, what were you saying about Katrina's book, Kendare? I think you were going to ask her something.
I wasn't. I was caught up on the whole menstrual
cup.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've just laid a lot on you all there. I'll leave you with that one. But yes, I do recommend this book, despite the fact that it's really making me think and like questioning everything that I thought about lots of things. How about you, Kasha? Did you have a good sprint?
Yeah, I read around 50 pages of The Doctor's Demons. Not way too much has happened. So it's basically this girl that is about to graduate. So she's about to become a doctor. So she's doing her training, and she gets to meet someone called Elena. She's 12 years old and started exhibiting weird behavior, turning violent, not wanting to shower, like the things you would expect when you are possessed by a demon.
And obviously, also maybe a normal 12-year-old in some ways.
Yeah, like, it's there, When do we cross the line to possession? So of course, the doctors and everybody is treating it like a regular case, but the parents have mentioned that it's not their daughter anymore, and they feel like she might be possessed. Obviously the doctors are not believing that yet. They think they are overreacting. They cannot cope with the idea that their daughter is sick and needs treatment or medicine, whatever. But yeah, there's weird things happening. The kid is being described like really unsettling, like it's really creepy, the typical possessed child. And I really like it. The level of creepiness is interesting. So far I would recommend, but it's still early. I feel like 50 pages in, it's a bit early, but there's also inserts of the examination, so it's a little bit of mixed media, I would say. I mean, not too extreme, but there's like sessions with Elena and how she is physically, things she does, so everything is described in this kind of like examination sheets, and it's interesting.
Yeah, it sounds it, and the fact that she's 12 makes me feel a bit more comfortable. Like I could maybe cope with that. She seems like almost teenagers, is not as scary to me. Okay, excellent. So let's see how the people in the comments are doing, and then we can maybe go to the final sprint. Let's see what Charlie has to say. Excellent. Okay, Charlie is really good at Fantasy Recs in particular, but basically anything. For anybody who doesn't know, Charlie has an awesome UK way book box. So she kind of highlights and sends out boxes with UK authors in every month, which is very cool. Sorry, Kendare. But yeah, I mean, Charlie's doing great stuff for UK authors. Hi, Shelley. Thank you for joining us. My copy of that just arrived today. I'm so excited. Apparently, it says lots of things about the publishing industry, so I'm interested. Have you read it, Kendare?
I have not yet. I mean, obviously, I've seen it everywhere, but I haven't even picked it up yet. I need to go get it.
Yeah, well, I saw Waterstones had like a double points weekend, and I'd been debating ordering like their special edition, and of course, I was like, oh, double points. I'm just gonna jump in because I knew I wouldn't have time to read it for the significant future, but I have it now. At least that's the first step.
It's comforting. It's comforting just to have it. It just takes the plate.
I've set the intention to read it. This is all I seem to do on repeat right now. I really need to read it. Hi, Ashlyn. Oh, we've got all the spooky vampire people here tonight. Ashlyn wrote Big Bad Me for all. Anybody who's wondering, which is a vampire and werewolf book that is very fun and very Buffy-like. Oh, yeah, I mean, annoying life stuff does tend to get in the way of the other stuff. But I feel like you should binge Buffy. You're in good company here to people who will tell you to binge. But I think all of us on screen, it's safe to say, would encourage the binging Buffy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If Buffy is needed, I feel like apply liberal Buffy, definitely. Yay! I mean, we're all there with you, Han. The overthinking definitely is a thing. And I know that you've got a bit of writing time at the moment, so hopefully you can kind of, now you've done the bit of overthinking, get into it. Yay! Thank you for joining us. I do these every week at 7:30 British summertime. I always get this wrong, BST, GMT. And I know that Katrina, you join in with quite a few, don't you? Is it who is it? My mind is blanking. Who's your friend who does it quite regularly, reading sprints?
Lexi. Books
That's
with Lexi.
Yeah. Thank you. My brain's going Lottie, and I'm like, I know that's wrong. I'm very tired. See, it's happening. Like the incoherence is starting. If you want to get anything out of me or like have some comedy, then just keep me talking. But I'm going to shut up and go to a sprint in a minute. Let's see what else people are saying. The School for Good Mothers. That sounds like a title. Like, what kind of book is that? Anybody heard of it?
I heard of it, yeah.
I think
I
it's
was
a
sci-fi.
thriller.
Sci-fi thriller, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I sometimes get them very wrong from the titles. I can't always tell. Yeah, that's me on a lot of days, especially by like the evening. I generally don't write at all during the day. Yes. If you need the motivation, Han, I'm going to be writing and editing my socks off this summer. So, your cat is excellent. Ashlyn, I don't know whether anybody's seen Ashlyn on social media, but her cat sometimes edits for her. So, like, she looks away for a second and, like, chunks have disappeared, appeared, moved in the book. It definitely keeps you on your toes. I mean, TikTok is such a time suck. I do need to, yeah, we're all together on this one. Binge, watch more Buffy. Interesting. I haven't read any Joe Abercrombie books. Yes, I think Katrina, we're all like waiting to see what this one's like.
I haven't seen the best reviews so far for it. For people reading it for the book club, but yeah.
When does the book club need to have read it by?
Sunday night.
I was going to say I could join you, but I just know that's not going to happen. Thank you for joining us. Even though you're working, hopefully we're a nice bit of background noise. Ooh, another Monstrilio, and at some point I will learn how to say that title correctly. I think that's at least 3 people reading that tonight. Interesting. Your cat is...
Yes.
What's his name? Is it Armpit McGee? I don't want to misname the cat. I mean, excellent name too. Where did that name come from? Like, I've heard there's a story there.
Well, my other animals are named after pop culture characters. Like I have Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones and Agent Scully from the X-Files. Our Doberman was named Obi-Dog Kenobi. Aww. So I finally just let my husband name one, and this is what happened.
I insist on naming my cat because otherwise disaster happens.
Yeah, I like that though. I have to admit, whenever I see it on your social media, I'm like, it's just
he's learned, like he embodies the name. You know, he's totally an Armpit McGee. Yeah.
Like, how do you call him? Do you call him by the full name, or is he just like Armpit or Pit? Or
if you call out Armpit McGee, he does know the name. But around the house, usually we just call him Baby because he's also the youngest. So you know, the youngest child always stays young for much longer. He's almost 7 years old at this point.
At least he can't talk back. My mind started saying to me, "I'm not a baby. I'm a big boy." I'm like, "Oh, okay. These are my baby." Yours can. I mean, Armpit's probably just looking at you like, "I'm not a baby," but he can't tell you that. So you keep calling him that.
Yeah.
I don't think he will be. We're not kind of big sports people. We're more go to Comic-Con people. We do occasionally watch, like, someone's asking if you're watching the football on Saturday. I don't know who's playing, so sorry about that. Yeah, we watch Strongman. That is one sporting event I can get behind, which seems odd to some people, but I like watching people lift heavy things. I don't know why. I like the camaraderie. I do know why. I like the fact that even though they're competing against each other to be a world champion, they like really cheer each other on. And I'm not a very competitive person sports wise because I'm terrible. So I think I like it when people are being nice and like supporting each other.
We're not watching football. So.
Oh yeah, we will be watching a 3-year-old play football. So yeah, that is a very different kind of football. They play very cute games, like pretending that cones are volcanoes that they have to kick over and stuff like that in an attempt to get the 3-year-olds to concentrate. But it's mostly just him. It's like herding cats. He's like trying to talk to them, and he's like, oh, one's run that way, one's run that way, one's laying on the floor. It's all good fun. Mine's trying to like pick up the gravel from the AstroTurf. So yeah, let's go to sprint. See the rambling, it's happening. Don't get me talking. I'll never shut up. And I've got a reminder coming up, which is a good thing, so I've forgotten what it was about. So let's do 30 minutes for this last one. I think I'm going to go rogue and work on a different project because I've done enough Mina today, so I'm going to have half an hour looking at my beta readers' comments of something else, which Kendare knows about. I don't think I've told maybe I told you about it, Kasha. The secret things. We like the secret things, don't we, Kendare? Like you have the public thing that you're working on, and then like the little kind of sneaky side projects too. I'm excited about this one, so I'm going to go and do a little bit of sneaky work on that. Are you three continuing what you've been doing before?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah, I was going to say you need to because we all need to know now.
People need to know.
Yeah, we need to know if it goes any more cosmic because it just had the one bit of cosmic kind of was the beginning mostly like that, and then it's gone a bit more every day now.
Yeah, it's just the brother and sister like talking.
Okay, so what you need is more horror. You need more like holes with dead bodies in them and stuff.
Yeah. I think I'm about to. Something did just happen in a bar, and it's like continuing. So.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm excited to hear what that's.
I can't move because there's a cat here.
Oh, so Kasha's going to do some excellent reading. There's no distraction here.
Yeah, you can't move if the cat's there.
No, he's our baby. He's 1 year old. Yeah, and the other one is sleeping at my feet, so it's like I can go nowhere at this point. It's the rule. If a cat sits on top of you, you might as well die, but you're not allowed to even go pee. It's the way it is.
Oh, why you all make me want a cat? I haven't had a cat since I was a child, and I did really love it. But cat and 3-year-old, I don't think would make something of okay, right. Let's go to this last sprint, and we will see you all on the side. Hello. Sorry to keep everyone. I just had a little boy who needed my attention for a minute. I think. Okay, I'm just going to unmute him. Okay, so how did we get on in the last sprint? How about you, Katrina?
I managed to make it 20 more pages.
Okay.
And yeah, something happened, and it's like a big part of like something started, I guess. And it's like the biggest complaint I hear about this book is that there's like a biker gang in it, and it's like that's what happened. Like the sister picked a fight with the biker gang. So and the fighting was cool. It was like really pretty gnarly. But now the biker gang's after them.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so is it? Do you feel like the thinking it was going to be like a cosmic horror? Does it seem to be going in a different direction from that then so far?
A little bit, but I think they're gonna get to the hole,
Okay.
and then it's gonna be like biker gang hole, weird hole. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, how about you, Kendare? What did you get done in the last half an hour?
Yeah. I did a section and realized that I needed a different POV in a section, and some of the stuff that I revised earlier can now come into play in this section. So I just made more work, but it's going well.
That sounds good though. I think sometimes you realize something like that and you're like, oh no, this is going to be like really hard work for now, but then like in the future you'll appreciate that you did that. Hopefully.
I don't know. Hopefully.
How about you, Kasha? Did you have a good last session?
Yeah, I read around 50 more pages of Last One to Die. So it's getting a bit more interesting. So for reference is still this one. So we are seeing the main characters trying to figure out who is behind these kills, because obviously every other girl that has been either attacked or killed looks like her and goes to the same school, and she's starting to realize, maybe I am gonna be a target, so I might as well just try to figure out who is behind all of this. So she's going to the library trying to figure out history of kills and stuff like that. So I like that kind of mystery investigation part of things. So yeah, I still don't know exactly what's gonna be the reveal. I have ideas, but I still don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm just nodding here because I have obviously read this book. I'm like, I like a lot of the same things that you liked. I haven't started rereading it yet, so it's kind of, as you're talking, it's bringing back a lot of things I really liked. I remember have you read A Scene in the Library of doing research? That kind of gave me like a Buffy feel, so I liked that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I can see Kat just appearing. You just make yourself known, Armpit McGee. You do that. Very cute and distracting. Okay, let's see how the people in the comments are doing, and then I think we can probably wrap this up for the evening. There's always secrets in publishing. Some like are more exciting than others. Some are just things I'm working on. I don't know about you, Kendara, but I don't like to talk about stuff if it hasn't sold yet. Like, I don't know whether it's a weird superstition thing, but like if it's not even on submission, I like don't want to tell people, because I know some people like they talk about a whole thing. Like you see people on TikTok like, oh, this is what I'm working on, it's going to go on submission. I'm like, I feel like I'm jinxing myself if I talk about that. I don't know. How about you?
I felt like that too for a long time. And I'm starting to get to the point where the last several projects I've just sold on proposal. And now I'm like, I want to sell with a full book again. Dang it. Like, which is, it's my agent's like, no, we should just sell on proposal. I'm like, but I feel like it's better to sell. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to get myself in trouble if I keep talking.
See, it's that time, isn't it? Even though it's not late for you, my like late night feelings are just kind of seeping into you. I'm sorry. Luckily, I'm going to wrap this up soon because a little boy is with his daddy now, and I think that daddy might be losing the battle. So I'm going to go up and help him.
He's having big feelings.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I don't know whether you can hear the big feelings, but they sound like they're getting a little bigger as he's going on. Oh, I mean, I think that's cool that you sort of like, so you're drawing characters. I'm sorry, I can feel myself getting distracted by the little person upstairs. I never do any drawing of my characters and stuff. It would go horribly wrong. Excellent. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am really definitely needing to pull that up the list. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of being a student and eating like terrible foods that you just rehydrate with water, isn't there? Like I remember this from being in university. Like I had friends who like spent the whole degrees just eating noodles out of little bags, and they survived. I think I'm going to call it a night and go and sort out the little person upstairs. But thank you so much,
Yeah.
everybody who has come on the sprint, everybody in the comments. I really enjoyed talking to you all. I hope it's been useful. We will go to the green room, the three of us. Everybody else, we will check it out next time. If you'd like to join us, I'll be here next week on Monday and Thursday. But then I'm having a week off because I'm going to Disneyland.
Yay.
So
Yay!
Fun.
of that when I get to that point. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, and I will hopefully see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.